Good morning, students. So, the physical properties of metals and non-metals are completed. Now, we will read about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals show different chemical properties. All elements react and show certain chemical properties depending on their nature and condition of reactions. Metals and nonmetals they differ from each other due to these chemical properties also. Some of the important chemical properties of metals and nonmetals are: first is reaction of metal and nonmetal with oxygen. Metals react with oxygen to form metal oxides, which is basic in nature. Some metals also form amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides means the properties of both acids as well as base. The compound which shows the properties of both acids as well as base. And the examples are zinc oxide and aluminum oxide. One activity is given here to show that the metals when react with oxygen it forms basic oxides. Materials required for these is magnesium ribbon, a sandpaper, pair of tongs, Bunsen burner, boiling tube, red litmus solution or red litmus paper, etc. We will take a magnesium ribbon, hold it with a pair of tongs and heat it over a flame. Heat it over a flame. We will see that magnesium ribbon starts burning vigorously, producing a bright white light to form an ash. So, this is the magnesium when reacts with oxygen, that means it burns in the presence of oxygen, it produces magnesium oxide. This is the reaction of magnesium with oxygen. Then we will put this magnesium oxide ash in a boiling tube. Add a little water to it and shake it well. We will find that the magnesium oxide dissolves in water partially and it gives magnesium hydroxide. When we dissolve magnesium oxide, which is produced by the burning of magnesium with oxygen, it gives magnesium hydroxide, which is basic in nature. To find out that it is basic in nature, we will use the red litmus paper or red litmus solution to it. If we will put the red litmus paper or red litmus solution inside this magnesium hydroxide solution, we will see that it turns blue. That means the substance produced is basic in nature. The basic substance turns red litmus blue. So it is basic in nature. Similarly, other metals such as sodium, zinc, iron, copper all reacts with oxygen to form basic oxides. Sodium when reacts with oxygen it gives sodium oxide and it is also basic in nature. So because sodium reacts with oxygen it is highly reactive. So we have to store it in kerosene. If we will leave it outside, then it will catches fire on its own and starts burning. So always we have to store sodium in a kerosene. Other reaction is zinc. Zinc reacts with oxygen strongly and form zinc oxide. When we heat it strongly in the presence of oxygen, then it gives zinc oxide which is also basic in nature. Same as iron and copper also reacts with oxygen and gives their oxides, iron oxides and copper hydroxide. Other metal like gold is highly unreactive, same as silver also, which is unreactive, and it cannot react with oxygen. So ornaments and jewelries are made up of gold and silver, which remain and look new for a long period because it does not react with oxygen and other gases present in air. Now, nonmetals. What happens when nonmetals react with oxygen? Nonmetals reacts with oxygen and gives their oxides. Nonmetallic oxides which is acidic in nature. For example, when carbon reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxides which is acidic oxide. Same as nitrogen, when reacts with oxygen, it gives nitrous oxide. Now, this carbon, when reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. To find out that it is acidic in nature, we will dissolve this carbon dioxide in water, and it gives, after dissolving in water, it gives carbonic acid. Now, if we dip the blue litmus paper in this carbonic acid, we will see that it turns into red, which shows that it is acidic in nature. Same as one activity is given here with any other nonmetal, that is with sulfur powder and with oxygen. What happens when sulfur powder reacts with oxygen? Materials required is sulfur powder, deflagrating spoon, Bunsen burner, jar covered with lid, water, a petri dish, red and blue litmus paper and a safety hook. What we will do? We will take some sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon and heat it over the flame of the burner. We will notice that the sulfur starts to burn, giving out blue flame. Now we will put this burning sulfur into a glass gas jar. Inside the gas jar, sulfur reacts with the oxygen because oxygen is present in the jar. So when we dip this sulfur, then we will see that it starts reacting in the air to form sulfur dioxide and gives a pungent smelling gas. That means the gas released is having poisonous smell. Now keep the lid of the glass jar closed so as to not let the sulfur dioxide escape from this jar. Then after some time, we will remove the deflagrating spoon from the glass gas jar and add some water into the jar and quickly close the lid. Shake the jar and dissolve sulfur dioxide in water. What we will see that some solution will be prepared there. Now we will put blue litmus paper or blue litmus solution into it. We will see that it turns into red. That means the substance produced is acidic in nature.